Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the pre-market show. Yours truly, Mandela Fobler, here with you today. This show is pre-recorded due to some scheduling plans and some traveling that we're enjoying at the moment. So we've taken this time to record this for you. So anything that we do say has been recorded earlier on this week. Current day is Monday, the 28th of July. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Whatever you've seen over the last 3 days, I have not seen at all. So if you can just keep that in mind, and we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna have a little bit of fun today. So unfortunately, I also will not be able to see the live chat. So anything that's in the live chat will be, I guess, will be run by Justina today. So thank you very much to Justina and the whole CTI crew who've been helping us throughout the last few weeks with the show. All right, so without further ado, we're going to have a look at what's going on, what's moving and shaking from a market perspective. I know a lot of you do like to trade individual stocks and various different currency pairs and things like that. So we're gonna see. I mean, I'm a little bit limited. I'll be completely honest. A little bit limited in terms of what I can and cannot do today, because this is what's this? 4 days before. 4 days before you'll see this. So I'm gonna just share from my perspective what I can, and we'll deal with that. Okay, so let's start off first with a little bit about what's been happening from a commitment of traders perspective. I think it's very important to know what's going on underneath the hood, what's happening underneath the surface with the market. I think there's been a very considerable run up, a very big move higher. And this is ES. This is ES futures. So S&P 500 right here for you. We have seen pretty much from the April lows, we've seen the price pretty well continue higher very steadily. And we're at new all-time highs. In terms of a commitment of traders report, we're seeing what we like to follow. The commercials are quite long here on the S&P. And the large speculators who we like to do the opposite of, or we like to fade, they continue to short this. They are continuing to short this. And this is making me think more and more that this rally higher, this move higher in the S&P is going to continue. We have seen a tremendous move from April until today. So we're just starting the week here. But yeah, it's been just a humongous, unimaginable type of move here in the S&P. We talked a bit about it last week. So we are watching this move very, very closely. And I think it's very much a reminder that the trend is our friend. The trend is actually our friend, and we have to remember that. We're not trying to pick the top, even though I think maybe the natural inclination is to say, okay, well, I don't really want to buy the all-time highs here. Okay, that might be true. It may be difficult to do. Right now, we're seeing S&P just cooling off a little bit in pre-market, but this is not going to mean anything to you in 4 days' time. Let's zoom out and have a broader look from this perspective here. So we've come up, I think of it as the trend is your friend, and the trend has definitely been continuing higher. And anybody who tried to fight this, anybody who wanted to short this, or even taking profits on this, you would have taken profits before the peak, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But it's continued to run. So we can see it a little bit better here on this screen. Up more than 31% of the last 109 days. So it's just been an incredible run from pretty much 4,000, just under 4,900 on the S&P, which would have at the time would have just touched bear market territory. Need to update these. And now we're just about 6,400 in pre-market trading. Yeah, just almost 6,400 exactly. So I know things are going to change between now and the time you will see this, but I think it's important to remember how far we've come. And I think of it like if you were selling something and the season, let's say the season is summer, it's summertime, everybody's hot, everybody's sweltering, sweaty, humid, and you see that air conditioners are selling really well. Everybody wants an air conditioner. Fans are selling really well. Everybody wants a fan. Popsicles or lollies, what do they call it? Ice lollies, popsicles, whatever you call them, are selling really well. And you think, this isn't going to last forever. I'm going to sell nice, thick winter coats, thick gloves. Well, if you would have been selling winter coats and gloves, you would have nobody would have wanted it. You would have been stuck with your supply, and what was working was the air conditioners and we call them back home. We call them snowballs. So snowballs would have been running hot. So that's what's selling. If you see that's what's selling, then that's what you got to sell. So I think a lot of us, including myself, I didn't grab this dip by the horns and ride it all the way up. But it's a lesson to me as well that when things are bullish and things are going really well, it's prudent to be on the right side of the trend and to follow the trend, because the trend's not going to last forever, but you gotta kind of make hay when the sun is shining. That's exactly what I think the bulls did here. So is it too late? I don't know. I think there are some upward targets that I have. I've identified a few upward targets up here. Possibly the round number of 6,500 could be a pretty good target on the upside. Maybe we see a slight pause up there. I don't know. But the tape, as they call it, the price has continued. The S&P has continued to run really, really, really well higher onto the upside. And we're getting support on that from the S&P's Commitment of Traders report, which is saying the commercials are buying this, still buying this. The large speculators are trying to sell this. Now, the reasons behind this could be, well, maybe the large speculators are shorting because they're anticipating a dip. And if we go back to the analogy of selling, selling winter coats and thick gloves and hot boots and things like that, winter boots, that may be true in the coming months, but right now it's not. And so you have to basically trade what's in front of you. So you could have either been missing out on this rally, which I'm guilty of, missing out on a lot of this upside potential, or you could, even worse, be trying to short this, which would be extremely detrimental to anybody's account, even with risk management techniques. So we can also take a look at NASDAQ as well. So NASDAQ came off a little bit in terms of the Commitment of Traders report. So we had, so with the Commitment of Traders, we had a little bit of selling from the commercials, but that's kind of been revised since the last report that came out last week, Friday. So this is something that we like to look at on a regular basis. We always also mention Bitcoin. There are quite a few crypto fans in the community and also on CTI. So for today, we're simulcasting on CTI's YouTube channel and on our Signature FX YouTube channel. So check down below for our YouTube links. And tomorrow, you got a very special show tomorrow with Andrew, who's going to be giving you a lot of excitement, a lot of cool information. So you want to check us tomorrow, same place, Same time, tomorrow is going to be the Signature FX pre-market show, simulcast on CTI. So similarly here, we have a little bit of a cooling off of the commercials. So the commercials not quite as long here as we hit the all-time high in Bitcoin. Similarly, the large speculators not quite as short. So maybe that's why we did get a bit of a pullback over the last few days here in crypto. But as of today, we're just below 119,000 on Bitcoin. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential here. I don't really want to get into too many charts and levels, but because I'm keeping in mind that there's going to be quite a bit of data that's going to be coming out between now and the time that most of you will see this. So one of the pieces of data that I think is going to be key is what they call earnings data. So those of you who don't trade individual stocks, you may not be familiar with some of these, but this is the earnings calendar for this week. And we can fast forward right to Thursday. So this is when most of you will be watching, or all of you will be watching this Thursday before the open. So any minute now, or possibly because right now it's about, I think it's going to be about 142 for you, 142 for those of you in London. That's going to be 942 for those of you in Bermuda, and 842 for those of you in New York City. So we may already have gotten some of these earnings. Roblox is a big one. Norwegian Cruise Line, also Cameco, big. This is a big nuclear player. And then after the close today, for those of you watching, so after the close on Thursday, we'll be getting Apple earnings and Amazon earnings back to back on the same day. Also, massive crypto players here. So MicroStrategy, and they've changed it to just Strategy, and Coinbase, also another crypto player, Riot as well. And I think a few of you all also know about Roku. So big earnings after the close on Thursday. So to be mindful of, we would have already seen these. So in the rear view mirror would be Meta, Microsoft, Robinhood, and then also just some of the big ones. Marathon is also a big one. Starbucks doesn't tend to move that much, but everybody knows it. It's a household name. Visa, SoFi, United Health Group, PayPal, all would have already completed their earnings. So this is a big, some people call it the pig in the python moment here. As we get through all of this, we also have another piece of information that's coming up from a more macroeconomical standpoint. And that's this one over here. So this is going to be also a big sort of calendar event for this week. If we zoom in slightly, so all this stuff will be rear view mirror. But we have for this week things like job openings is a big one, ADP, unemployment, GDP, and then we have the Federal Reserve interest rate decision. So the probability for the Federal Reserve to hold interest rates unchanged is extremely high. We can have a look at that in a quick second. But this one, we would have just had this at the time of watching. This would have been yesterday afternoon. And likely for the Fed to hold interest rates. So here, they didn't put it in because I guess they didn't want to be too, that's not even relative. That's not even relevant. They didn't want to be, I guess, too presumptuous, but this is expected to remain the same. And what we'll do quickly is we'll just have a look at Polymarket, which is a tool that I'm starting to use a lot more. So Polymarket, for those of you who are not familiar with Polymarket, it provides a great marketplace for events, and it gives people the opportunity to price things, the probability of things occurring. So just going to take a quick sip of my water. got this cup. This was a great movie for the family. Superman. Highly recommend Superman. Saw it with my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, and my big boy, my son. So great movie. I would recommend, and we got the cup to remember it by. Okay, so poly market, looking at Fed decision in July. So this is obviously, it's not going to be completely correct, I guess, or always right. But if we look at the blue line here, the blue line is for no change, and we can also see here there's a 95%. Wait, what am I doing? Okay, that's it. Yeah, there we go. So 95% chance of there being no change at this week's meeting. I think it's pretty much that's the case. There's a 4% chance of a 25 basis points decrease and a 1% chance of a 50 bips decrease. So I like to use this source. It's nice to kind of cross-reference some things that you're thinking about. So some things that you might not be thinking about for this one. For September, for example, looks like the chances of the Fed cutting in September, there's actually a greater chance that there is a 25 basis points decrease. So that's interesting. So poly market is pricing in more than 50% probability that the Fed does start to cut. And you can also see the change over time. So you can line this up with other economic events, previous Fed meetings, also Fed Chair Powell's speeches, and see how it's kind of ebbed and flowed. I like it. It's free. I do not participate on poly market, so I don't actively place wagers. But these are the ones that I like to track. So 60% says they cut by September. Good to know. Will Trump fire Powell? 8% chance. So different, quite a few different themes that I like to follow. And then there's another one here called the Fed tool. If we cross-reference what we had, so this is on the CME Group site, and we look at the meeting for what would be this week's meeting, 97% chance that they keep rates as is. And then a 62% chance here on FedWatch that they start to cut in September. Then looks like another hold in October, and then maybe one more cut potentially in December. So definitely, more or less, it's a guarantee unless something miraculous happens here. We would have had a hold, what would have been yesterday, and then 62% chance. So a good chance that we get our first cut in September. Okay. Keeping an eye on the clock here. We're more than halfway through the show, and I'm trying not to go too granular into charts, but let's bring up the calendar here. Another big one for this week as well is getting back on track. So we would have had that already. So right when the show started, we would have gotten initial jobless claims, which is a fairly big piece of data. People tend to watch initial jobless claims very closely. And yeah, the expectation is for 221,000. That's up from 217,000. And what else do we have? Okay, tomorrow is a big one. So tomorrow we get what's called U.S. Employment Report here, but we like to call it the Non-Farm Payrolls Report. That's NFP for short. So that's tomorrow morning, more or less around this time. So look out for that. Looking at a expectation of 102,000 jobs created, and that's compared to 147,000 jobs previously. And also unemployment rate. That's a big one as well. So expectation there is for a slight increase in the unemployment rate, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, we got U.S. hourly wages. These other tend not to move the market too much. ISM manufacturing can sometimes give us a bit of a move. And then consumer sentiment is also a big one for tomorrow. So just be aware of that as you are navigating your trades, particularly if you're trading U.S. stocks, U.S. indices, or they call it U.S. indexes, indexes, potato, and some U.S. currencies. So if you're trading pound dollar or dollar yen or dollar Swissy, Aussie dollar, things like that, you could see some moves on these fronts. But I think the main one for tomorrow is going to be this non-farm payrolls. So keep an eye out for that, and I think you'll be good to go. Hopefully everybody's had a profitable week so far, and I hope that does continue for the remainder of the week. Now, I had a list of things that I wanted to cover today. So obviously, we won't be giving away any prizes because we're not live today, but we do want to say a special thank you to everybody who does watch these shows. For all of you who do come and support our shows each and every week, we salute you and we thank you. This is a very, very safe space, so feel free to post at any point in time when we're live and direct. We have a very, very open forum here where you can send suggestions, thoughts, ideas, even questions about what does this mean, what does that mean, how does this work. Thank you, and thank you for that. We call this the pre-market show, and we do this each and every Thursday, and we do it each and every Friday. We're also on the Signature FX YouTube channel as well. My name's Mandela, and I'm a full-time trader, and I really enjoy doing these to kind of give back and to provide some insights. So I'll let you know a few other of my thoughts before we wrap up, but we got about 5 minutes left before we finish up today. But feel free, please, to just hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, share this with some family, some friends, some loved ones. If there's anybody that you know who would benefit from something like this, please feel free to send them the message and let them know that this is here. And comment below. We are here to hear your feedback, to hear your thoughts. It's very important to us, as well as subscribing. So make sure that you do that, because that's how we grow. That's how we continue to provide this information for you each and every week. And we have been approached and contacted by some of you to do this every week. That's a big commitment. Every single week. That's a big commitment. So we're not going to do it every week, or every day rather, every day of the week. We're not going to do it every day of the week if the demand is not there. So please make sure that you comment below. Let us know how you are finding these. And if the demand is there, then we will consider it, doing these more often, because the markets are open every day. However, we are full-time traders. We run our own funds, and we have various obligations and obviously various things that we have to get done, projects that we have to get done on a regular basis. So if the demand is there, then we will assess and determine whether or not to increase the amount of content that we do. So just let us know. But yeah, today we are not live. This is Monday. We're recording this on Monday, 28th of July, just before markets open. We covered the commitment of traders. We talked about if it's summertime, you want to be buying and selling air conditioners, buying and selling ice lollies or snowballs. That's what works in the summer. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. I think a lot of people are like wanting a dip. Everybody's wanting a dip, and I think contrarians are saying, "Look, we're just going to buy this." And it's also, I think, a surprise move from Scott Bessent and Trump. Their tariffs are actually being loved by the market, and it's causing a lot of stocks to do really, really well. So I think the contrarian position is actually to be long. It's evident. It's evident that contrarians are getting long and they're doing really well. So the strategy that we use keeps us on the right side of the trend, and it allows us to benefit from this move that we've seen. Now, the strategy that we use is more short term and or near term is another way to put it, where we're getting in and we're getting out within the day or within a few hours. So we're not actually benefiting necessarily from what happened since April over the last few months, but we are still able to benefit on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's the most important thing. What else did we have? Oh, we wanted to say thank you again to the CTI team. So thanks to Scott and thanks to Daniel. Also a special thanks to Justina today for running the live chat for us during this show in special circumstances. For next week, I will be live from Bermuda. So I'll be doing the show live from Bermuda. Matter of fact, today is a national holiday, one of the biggest holidays in Bermuda. And what I'll do, I'll leave you at the end of this show, I'll leave you with just a little montage, I guess, of what is happening in Bermuda right now as we speak. So as you're watching this, I am enjoying some quality time with family at what's called COT Match. And COT Match is the primary holiday of the island. It's when everybody comes out. We have some cricket. We had some good quality Bermuda food, usually some fish. There's also a little bit of gambling and wagering going on with some crown and anchor, as they call it. And everybody comes out. You got some music. You got some really good vibes. So crown and anchor is a it's one of the only times in Bermuda when you can actually gamble. People go out on the water, have fun, and really just enjoy themselves. It's one of those times when you know that you're home, you're with family, you're with loved ones, you're enjoying yourself. So right now, as you're watching this, I'm either on the water or I'm at the field watching the cricket, and really, really, really important to take some time. And okay, I was like, what's going on? It's really important to take some time to unplug and to enjoy life, really, because we're not going to be here forever, and there's more to life than just trading all the time. And that's, I think, one of the messages that I wanted to convey today is you have to take some time for you. And that's what I've done. So with that, we're just finishing up at the more or less at the top of the hour here. So it's about 30 minutes until markets open. And whatever you do today, make sure that you are exercising care, caution, and courtesy in the market. Make sure that you are preserving your capital. Tomorrow, I'm going to be taking a much needed sort of time off, and Andrew is going to be at the reins tomorrow. So we'll be streaming simulcast on the Signature FX YouTube channel and also the CTI YouTube channel tomorrow, same time, same place. So Andrew will basically be leading the way. So make sure you come out, give him some support tomorrow. And I think that's all I had. What else do we got? We covered everything. Oh, yeah. So the 10K account. So no account today, but look out for an account next week, Thursday. We'll be giving away a $10,000 CTI account for one lucky winner. So we'll see you all next week for that. And that's it from me, everybody. Yeah, that's it from me. Whatever you do, enjoy it and be safe. And until next time, everybody, I want to say, happy trading. Take care.